Hello, are you here to debate?
Hello?
Hello, you here to debate?
Yes, sir.
All right, can I get your name, age, and pronouns, please?
My name is George. My pronouns are he, him, and I am 23 years old.
All right, George, what topic on the board did you want to debate about?
I guess I'm not necessarily on the right, but I think out of all the topics I was looking at, I guess Christianity is terrible. It's probably the one that piqued my interest the most.
Yeah, sure. It's pretty simple. I believe any religion that morally condones slavery is a bad religion.
So can you explain specifically how, like, the Bible or what exactly you're referencing that condones slavery?
Yeah, sure. Leviticus 25, 44 to 46, where God says your male and female slaves are to come from the nations around you. From them you may buy slaves. You may also buy some of the temporary residents living among you and members of their clans, born in your country, and they will become your property, and you can bequeath them to your children as inherited property, and you can make them slaves for life, but you must not rule over your fellow Israelites ruthlessly.
Okay, but yeah, Leviticus is the Old Testament, though, right?
God also says in the New Testament, slaves obey your earthly masters, and even says even the cruel earthly masters, you must obey them, even if they're cruel or kind. So even in the New Testament, he condones slavery.
Can you find in the New Testament he says that? Can you find the passage for that for me?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
I'm just curious.
This is
I'm not a Christian
Peter
necessarily, but
oh, no problem. This is
Sorry,
1 Peter 2, 18. Slaves, in reverent fear of God, submit yourselves to your masters, not only to those who are good and considerate, but also to those who are harsh. And it's different in different translations. One of them, they say not only that they're kind and reasonable, but even if they're cruel. One says if not only if they're gentle, but also unjust, but also unreasonable, also harsh. Like they keep using words about masters to slaves who are like bad. So like they use the word for slavery. They use ebed in the Hebrew ebed, which translates to slave. So like they're quite literally talking about slaves at this point.
Yeah, but then by that standard, couldn't you say like every religion kind of condones slavery besides Christianity?
Well, any religion that has the Old and New Testaments in it, yes. And I would say to all of those religions, bad. But Christianity is the one I'm the most studied on, so that's why I talk about Christianity specifically.
Sure. No, I get that part. But would you say like that those values from that testament and the things that are being said there like apply today by any standard whatsoever?
I don't think they apply today, but I'm not Christian. A Christian who believes that where the Bible, when it says specifically all scripture is word of God, a Christian who believes this would have to say that like, yes, those standards must apply today. Otherwise, they're going against what their book says.
Okay, so you think just so we're clear, so every Christian is going against their own religion because they don't, fully believe that slavery is a good thing. I mean,
yeah, if they believe slavery to be a moral wrong, they're going against God. God believes it to be morally permissible.
Okay, like I'm not a Christian myself, but I live in more of a time where, I understand why people believe in religion and whatnot. Personally, I grew up Christian Catholic, but I became an atheist myself, but, I always try to defend religion if it helps people. I always look at it from the standpoint of, I think religion really, really helps people, especially Christianity. Like it gives them a sense of purpose. Like I know people that like can live as an atheist or can live not believing in religion, but I know there's a lot of people who believe and like depend on religion itself. So, I mean, just to say it's overall terrible, just to nitpick.
Well, my only thing against that is like, just because something helps people doesn't make it good, right? Like the Nazis technically helped a bunch of people, but like also killed 6 million others.
I wouldn't say Nazism is in comparison to like people having churches and singing every Sunday, right? So
the Nazis held rallies where people met weekly and sang and played games. They had camps for kids to go and play and learn. I don't know what would be the difference here.
I mean, the difference would be like, the internment camps were like right next door, and there was propaganda posters saying that Jewish and disabled people were pretty much not humans. I don't think Christianity,
Yeah,
by
I mean,
any
God
length,
was helping out the Israelites while also having them like murder the Canaanites. So like,
oh yeah, of course. I will never say that. It's not
like
history.
the more we talk about it, the more the parallel is seeming real.
Hey, buddy, I'll give you like the Crusades. I'll give you all that stuff. I'll give you the Israel. I'll give you all that. All right, but I'm talking in today's standard. You could take a Nazi today and take a Christian today. You could find wild differences.
I'm not comparing Nazis to Christians. I'm just pointing out that
I mean, you brought up Nazis.
No, I'm pointing out that bad ideologies or bad beliefs can still do good for people. Right. There are people that can receive good even from bad beliefs. So even though Nazism is a bad belief, there were still Germans who did better under the Nazi party and had better lives than pre-Nazi party. Right. Sure. So just saying like Christianity's helped a bunch of people, I don't think is a compelling argument.
I'm not saying that's the reason, but I'm saying like you're saying overall it's terrible, but then your evidence of it is bringing up slavery and the Old Testament and the New Testament.
Well, yes, I don't, because I'm not saying Christians are terrible. I'm not saying Christians are terrible. I'm saying Christianity is terrible. Somebody can say they're a Christian and like be like, yeah, but I don't really believe the Bible. I just believe that Christ was our Lord. I believe there was a person who was born whose name was Jesus Christ and who came back from the dead, and I believe in him. I don't really believe in the book, and I think that's fine.
So is that not Christianity then? What is Christianity definition?
That's their version of Christianity, but like my understanding of Christianity would mean that you have to follow the Bible because quite literally Jesus and God both say to, right? Jesus says, I didn't come to abolish the old laws. He says these old laws are still intact, right? In fact, I think it's that the only way they're going to get the old laws are going to get abolished is during the rapture, which we all know is not actually going to happen. But like, if so, in my opinion, Christianity, the thing that's based on the book, that is bad. Whatever you do with it is what you do with it. Like somebody could even believe in the full book and not do bad things with it. But Christianity within and of itself is terrible. Any religion that says slavery is morally permissible is terrible, in my opinion. And that I don't know that anybody, I don't know how people disagree. How you disagree with that fact?
No, like listen, I agree with you in this sense because even Leviticus I brought up in the past when I originally strayed away from religion because it pointed out the slaughtering of anyone who slept with the same gender and blah blah blah. Like that made me stray away. But from the sense of shouldn't you just cut out the middleman and just say that you hate the Bible and not hate Christianity, or because a Christian, I would never say is like a bad person, but if you want to critique the Bible, can you just say like the Bible?
I think Christians can be bad people, right? I think if a Christian fully believe, like evangelical Christians who believe everything the Bible says and then some, yeah, they're bad people. They're just like hands down terrible people. Christians who use the mistranslation in Leviticus to claim that being gay is wrong is a bad person. Christians that use the mistranslation in the New Testament where to say that gay is wrong are bad people. I think these are bad people. Yeah.
Sure. I think just the only hang up on my part is just I could see the nitpicky where it's like slavery and whatever, like it's bad. I agree. I think we can both agree that it's terrible and shouldn't be involved in any religion or shown in any religious purpose. But just to fully sum up and say like the whole religion is bad for that reason, like when I grew up in the religion and the faith, like I had my questions about it that made me stray away, but I saw how many people like it helped, and I understand like yes, like a bad thing can help a good person, but I mean I think there's more good and bad. Like I can say there's way more bad in Nazism than I can say that there is in Christianity, but I just look at the results of how many people it helped and how much it doesn't really in today's standard have that negative effect like it used to, where you couldn't be gay, you couldn't be like anything, you had to be a follower of the church, etc. You had to go every Sunday or you go to hell, etc. But I don't know. I just don't get the point of saying the whole Christianity is terrible just based off of just the Bible. Like I feel like you're attacking the wrong point in my opinion.
I don't. The Bible's the book, right? The Bible is the book.
Yeah.
That'd be like going, well, all of the Chronicles of Narnia aren't bad just because the books are bad. Well, no, yeah, the books are the story. The books are the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but then like that's my point. Like the Bible's bad. If you met a Christian, I wouldn't think like this person like likes slavery. And if you said, "Oh, what do you think about slavery?" and like, "Oh yeah, in the Bible it says slavery, so I believe that too." Like, no, these people are, I think, of an updated morality at that point. But if you want to say the Bible's bad,
they don't believe in their own book. That's my issue.
Oh yeah, that's the best part. Well, think about it. If anyone here, if you were like Islamic or whatever, and you believed in your book, these guys would have 20 wives and they would be hitting people.
Wait. If I shouldn't believe in everything written in the book, why should I believe in anything written in the book? Why should I believe Jesus rose from the dead? Why should I believe that God is loving? Why should I believe any of this if none of it is, if the book is wrong all the time?
Do you think there's religious people that fully believe in the book that the religion resonates from? Do you think there's people that fully believe and follow the Torah like word for word, or follow the Bible like word for word? Like I think I can find like 99% plus of Christians and Catholics don't really like abide by the Bible or the commandments. They always like fail in some standard. I don't think anyone's like directly.
Wait, but we're not even talking about, we're not talking about failing, right? Because that's different. Believing that it's real and failing to meet up with it is a different thing. So I'm talking about someone that believes in the Bible wholeheartedly. Like if they believe in the Bible wholeheartedly, they believe slavery is morally permissible. If they don't believe in the Bible wholeheartedly and they're saying, well, the Bible is just a tool, then why should I believe any of the claims it makes? Why should I believe in God to begin with? The Bible is the claim. But if you're saying that there are parts of the Bible that are just like, obviously, logically, slavery is not okay, so that part of the Bible just ignore, well, then I'll just ignore all of it. Like, who makes the determination on what parts of the Bible we ignore or don't ignore?
Yeah, well, to be honest, you're getting more on my side now because I'm in agreement with you. But I am an atheist to begin with, so I'm trying to like devil's advocate this. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's a very weird slope. I think Christianity isn't bad, but I do think that books that it originate from are bad. I don't like the idea of like the Testament can just be simply updated and all of a sudden like God doesn't hate gay people apparently. Like I've had my own turning away from the faith for those reasons alone. But I thought it was interesting that like you didn't say like Catholicism is bad or this specific is bad, specifically Christianity. Like do you have anything against Catholicism or any idea?
I'm against any religion whose source is the Bible. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, then at that point, I feel like you should just say the Bible is terrible, and then etc. Because it seems like you brought up a passage the second I heard Christianity is terrible, but now I feel like
the Bible is the book of the Christian faith.
Sure, but then now we're going back to the point that I said earlier, where if you just took a Christian off the street, do you think this guy actually believes and thinks slavery is good? No, of course not.
Then they don't believe in their own book. And we're right back to my question, which is if you're allowed to say this part of the book is wrong, why should I believe any of the book? The book is the claim. The book is what makes the claim. Without the Bible, Christianity doesn't exist.
Yeah, but it's like there's so many passages in other books as well and the Bible that nobody goes by. Like in the Book of Islam, it says you should have 20 plus lives or 20 plus wives and you'll have all these virgins in the afterlife. But a lot of these guys that believe in this Islamic faith don't have that. They don't have 30 wives or whatever. They don't fully follow to that extent because it's like in Christianity, it says you have to believe in your earthly masters and it hints at slavery, but I don't see a guy walking with somebody on a leash down the street, like I'm just saying, like, there's parts of it that are completely wrong. And I think they're.
So my question remains: what parts? Who gets to decide which parts we throw away and which parts we don't?
There is no deciding. In my opinion, it's all bullshit. But I think there's great virtues and
lessons
you can learn by them.
Wait, if you agree it's all bullshit, and you agree, like this is why the devil don't need an advocate. Right? Like if you believe it's all bullshit, there's no reason to keep having the conversation. We know it's all bullshit. If there is no hard, fast line of who gets to decide what stays and what goes, then we throw it all out.
I guess so, but I'm just saying, I probably met the nicest and sweetest people that are Christians, and obviously I don't believe in the same faith they do, but I think the Bible teaches lessons of how to be a better person still, and how to treat one neighbor.
Could I get those lessons by opening a Clifford the Big Red Dog book? Yes. Can
Yeah,
I get
of course.
those? Can I get those lessons by watching Sesame? I can get all those same lessons. There's not a single lesson that I can't get from watching Sesame Street.
Oh yeah, no, you get those exact lessons from Sesame Street. I'm not saying you can't, but my point is, when you get older and you start to age, I think people try to find a sense of purpose of life and try to do good willingly from a belief instead of just, you see it on TV or you read it in a book. So I think that's why a lot of people turn to religion. But my point is, I would never say the whole thing is terrible, because I think it's made some people very nice and very respectful. It's made some people very much better citizens in life, and I will always agree with that because I see the results of it. But at the end of the day,
I'm just gonna still say any religion that says slavery is morally permissible is a bad religion.
Okay, like if you want to cold turkey it like that, that's fine. But but you couldn't admit, if you say it's all bad because of this specific point, which is correct, I believe that's right. I don't think, I have had my own critiques of every religious book, and rightfully so. But would you say that Christianity has helped people at all? Even if
we already went over this. I think that bad things can help people. You can have bad beliefs that can still lead to positive benefits for others.
Is bad, but it's people. So you're saying overall it is bad, but it has helped people.
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to compare. So you quickly compared Christianity. You jumped right to Nazism.
I can compare it. No, I don't think it's insane to compare it to. I would say there's probably been more deaths caused by Christianity than Nazism.
Probably, but yeah, I'm talking about in today's standard, in today's time. If you took a Nazi and a Christian, I think those people would be completely different in more.
Historically, Nazis were Christian, but
Oh yeah. No, Nazis were mostly Catholics, but yeah, no, Nazis believed in Jesus, and they believed that everything they were doing was for God. I'm not saying that. I'm talking in today's standard. Do you think a Christian or a Nazi, which one do you think would be more toned towards slavery, or which one would even even consider it like a thing?
Wait, but again, whether the person believes it or not doesn't say. I'm talking about the religion itself. You keep conflating the religion for the believers of the religion. Right? I don't care whether a Christian believes in slavery or not. Their religion says it is morally permissible. And if they can go, well, yeah, it says that, but I'm just going to ignore that part and do the other stuff, I think that's bad.
Okay. Then what do you think these people should do then when they feel like there's a huge sum of people on the earth who feel a void, and they feel like they need something to believe in to keep going and blah, 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 and they turn to these religions? What do you think these people should do?
Go to therapy.
These religions are bad. And they all condone evil things. What do you think these people should be doing then?
Going to therapy. Going to finding community. What it is about religion half the time is community, right? You're getting this sense of community. You can do that without religion. Go to your local Boys and Girls Club. Go to your local community center. Volunteer. Sign up for things. You don't have to get this meaning from Christianity. You can get it from anything, right? There are people who feel a religious sense of spirituality when they're performing, right? Like singers who perform, who feel like a religious sense of spirituality. It's just about finding that purpose. You can find that everywhere. But yeah, I think the best place to start is therapy, probably.
Okay. But you don't think a sense of purpose can be found through religion, at all? You think
yes,
that would be
I think it can be. I've never said it couldn't. Right?
No, I'm not saying.
I think the issue is that finding a sense of belief or finding a sense of purpose inside something that says slavery is okay, I think we should probably get that sense of purpose elsewhere, just personally.
I respect it, Jovan. No, I follow the streams, brother. I just wanted to debate you, but this was fun. All right. Well, I'll see you soon, but thanks for the quick talk, bud.
Sure thing.
Okay.
The devil don't need an advocate. What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching this video, and I want to give a special shout out to my YouTube members. Their names are on the side. Membership starts at $2.99 a month, and you get early access to videos, exclusive members-only videos, and access to the Red Mirror Media Discord server. Thank you again to my members, and thanks for watching.